Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, I'm on the same
Going
thing.
live.
Oh snap.
What up?
Oh no, I thought it was something else. Oh snap.
Swimming in my newness, got the scuba, I maneuver through these sharks in the way. Demons real fluid, who would look to catch a lift like an Uber, but I got the whole armor on today. Lurking in the shadows, watching me with the scripts, getting to it, looking for another chance to invade. But I made it out the mud, and I'm covered in the blood by the way, the truth, the life, the one who saves. Fast and I pray, taking my time, don't be fast when I pray. Do it without ceasing and ask him today for forgiveness. Bask in the face, see I laugh in the face of the tempter. Reach out to the Father when the devil try to get you. Give someone a call and get all in the scripture. We don't have long on this road to redemption. Life is but a whisper. Will you seek approval or attention? Or just walk around like a drifter? Can you go the distance? All in my ignorance, I thought that I was fine doing me like YOLO. Captured in the same place of town like a photo. Thought that I was growing, but the path I was on was a no-go. We can build a nation going solo. The Father give us much and we still want motor. But never really have enough to show though.
I thought I was fine until I got God in my life. He's right there when I call, yeah, he's always right on time. My Lord and Savior too, yeah, he's always on my mind. The Holy Spirit moving, yeah, she keeps me living right. Yeah, she keeps me living righteous. Yeah, they keep me living right. Yeah, they keep me living righteous. Yeah, they keep me living right.
I hadn't realized that I needed them. I was still in the receiving end of chastisement. Even then, hit rock bottom, got the searching, then I found him. Then I felt like Tony Braxton, I could breathe again. Now I praise him from the morning to the evening. Life gets hard to seek the Father, it gets easy then. As long as you keeping his laws, commandments, and his statutes. You ain't gotta worry when there's angels there to back you. When you know the truth, then you're free, no more shackles or spiritual bondage. It's lyrical content, it's full of experience, wisdom, none of the nonsense that we're used to hearing from the secular side. I ain't saying all, but most, and notice it's not a boast. But truth music will take you on a heck of a ride. It's that time, cause the tribe's on the rise. And time to separate the wise from the lies. Cause 9 times out of 10, the tribulation we're in will begin to affect those living with pride. And dealing with signs, not dealing with God. Adhere to the law he gave to us, so we be living right. Now set aside for those who set apart. Stubborn in their feelings, only sitting in mind, claiming he knows your heart. How the blind only lead the blind. You ain't lying, Jeremiah 17:9.
I thought I was fine until I got God in my life. He's right there when I call, yeah, he's always right on time. My Lord and Savior too, yeah, he's always on my mind. The Holy Spirit moving, yeah, she keeps me living right.
Shalom. We back with our weekly podcast. This is episode 9, I believe. The Terror Within is Black Culture Genocide Part 2. And I'm here with my co-hosts, Brother Tez Israel and Akbanaya.
Shout out Shabaya the messenger too, that for that song.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Akshabaya the messenger.
Watch him
blessed
pray
us with his music. Yeah. He blessed us with his music.
Go check his YouTube channel out.
Yep. Check the YouTube channel out. Subscribe to his as well as ours. Subscribe, share, like, leave comments, whatever. We going in this week, like I said, with a part 2 to the Black Culture Genocide. But this time it's the Terror Within. Basically touching on situations such as integration. Was that good for us? Crabs in a bucket. Do we suffer from these type of things? So on and so forth. And I'm sure the brothers got some questions or whatnot too to go in with it. But yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna go ahead and go on in this one. And these the brothers. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves once again.
Cortez Israel on Facebook, Cortez Israel. You know, same old thing, man. This is serving for the Most High. Ain't nobody. Yo, Shalom. What's up? How everybody doing? This your Akbanaya. You know, just catch me in the wind. Shalom.
Yeah, brother.
Everybody trying to be cool, man.
Hey, that's Freestyle Sunday. So that's what we do. We catch each other in the wind. It's Freestyle Sunday. Yeah, buddy. So yeah, like I say, we're gonna start this thing off right and do it nice. And sure, I'm gonna go in with the first question. The first thing we're gonna touch on, I feel like this been a major problem in our community.
Hold up. Before you go in, let me ask you brothers a question.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all brothers trying to flex on me with the headphones, man. I'm turning the video off. Man, we got kids. You got
This
little
brother,
kids.
This brother feel left out. Hey, somebody in the audience, get this brother some headphones. Bluetooth.
Everybody got new toys, man. I want to play. Now, what it is, you over there in the motherland, you got all that space in your crib. The walls ain't, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Kids go to the other side of the house, man. Hey,
man.
Hey, I also got a big leather belt. The kids, they get out of line, I just mute the video. Y'all don't know what's happening.
Hey, this is the perfect episode, The Terror Within. It's like, no.
Hey, I want to say this too. Not to get off topic, I just want to thank everybody who's been supporting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tremendous respect and love and appreciation, man. No, because y'all don't have to do that. I know Black people, that's one of our main things. We really don't support each other, but I appreciate y'all,
man. Yeah, for sure on that. Yeah.
Hey, that's crazy because that's a part of and that's a part of the terror, though. You know, us not supporting each other. That's part of it.
Yeah. And that's actually going into some of the stuff that I was going to touch on. That's part of crabs in the bucket right there. Not supporting each other. They support the Chinese hot dog stand, but won't support the brother on the corner with a hot dog stand. Oh, his hot dogs cost too much, but the Chinese brother got the same price. But hey, it's the same thing.
Different meat,
man, that's that different meat. Yeah, we know what kind of meat they be eating. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Get on up in this thing. Let me ask y'all this question. How y'all feel about integration?
Go first, bro. How do I feel about integration? Well, I think it's a difference in integration what it is today and what it originally started because A is like you got blacks trying to get out of the black neighborhoods to integrate for safety reasons. When I say safety reasons, you got our neighborhoods is more violent now. You got the what do you got in our neighborhoods? You got less I guess education, So but I think how it originally started, I think that it was, the whole civil rights and all that. I think we had our own stuff in order, man, but we didn't really need it. And they gave us this whole, well, I want to sit down with they people or our people should be able to drink from their water fountain. We had our own stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I just think that today is just a product of, of all those years of us trying to integrate. Now we've became the standard of seeing, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, man, it's right now it's like the black people are the head of everything. The LGBT, the feminists. It's like they'll invite us into something and then they'll slowly back out of it, and then we become the face of it. So I think integration has become a detriment.
Yeah. And then you said something key. We want to drink out their water fountains, and we had our own stuff. But that goes back to what's that? 1 Kings 8 when they talk about we want to be like the nations. I think that's 1 King 8 or whatever. But yeah, our people. That's something our people suffer from. But Ben, you can touch on that too.
Integration, man. I think integration, took away what little bit of independence we had. You know what I mean? As a people, at the time, we owned our own, stores. We could feed ourselves to a degree. You know what I'm saying? We was actually building together. But us wanting or desiring, and I think like Cortez, like the brother was bringing up, they had their water fountain, we had ours, things of that sort. That kind of like made us feel as though their water was a little better than ours for some reason or something. I don't know. We like, I want to drink their water. You know what I'm saying? I did. I was listening to the brother Charleston White the other day, man, and he had said something that had struck me. He said, man. He said, you go to these, it was places, white restaurants where you couldn't eat in. And he said, people wanted, you wanted to eat up in there. And he's like, man, I still don't want to go up in the restaurants because our people cook better than that. And that ain't to diss nobody of another culture or another race or nothing like that. But most races of people think they group actually has good food. You know what I mean? So that's how we feel. And for us to, I think I don't know, man. I think it was something mentally wrong with us, man, to want to be like the other people when we had our own and we was actually flourishing. We was actually moving the right way. That's what I think, man. I think it took away the little bit of independence that we once had. A little bit that we once had.
Yeah, that's real spill, Bill. Hey, somebody said bat meat. They funny than a mug. when we was talking about the hot dog stands and stuff, like we know, and I was like, we know what they eat. Somebody said bat meat. But
chilling with the answer.
Right, yeah. But so yeah, integration. I touch on that too. So I take it from both of y'all that integration wasn't good on for us to accept, huh?
Man, I think at this point, and it's interesting you say the terror within because at this point we can't even blame them no more, man. Because now, they can take their hand off us on everything. We gonna destroy ourselves. That's why we call it's black culture. Black culture is killing itself from within. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's why I came with the integration thing. Right. And that's why I came with the integration thing because through them integrating, we learned certain traits from them and embedded it in our everyday lifestyle. Now, like you said, they back up. They ain't got to do nothing else. We take that weird stuff and start putting it in our households and in our communities and start destroying each other like that. So yeah, and it's crazy because the second part of that question was how has it benefited us? If that was if one of y'all would have said it was good or not, but I already knew y'all wasn't. But you know, but that's how it benefited us accepting that crap was it destroyed us mentally, and now we put that junk in our communities.
It's still
right.
Still destroying us when you look at integration.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the African countries and nations are dealing with the same tactics that we dealt with early on, with integration, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then you go to some of these places, or like you were just saying, to other countries or whatever. We can't integrate in their community, at least not like that. We got to have some type of cosigner to even set up something in their joints. While they can come right in ours and just do what they want with us and handle our women like how they want to handle them and feed the drugs to these little boys, and these little boys come back to our community. And like you said, it's not their fault. It's our fault for allowing it. We should have Nehemiah them years ago, years and years and centuries ago.
Yeah, but look how look how we treat our women. That's giving them the okay to come in.
You know exactly.
And you know what too, man? We got a phrase that we deem white supremacy, right? We look at white folk, we say, hey man, you know, the system, that's white supremacy, that's a white supremacist system. Well, we got a black inferiority mind state. Because if we felt like we were superior as a people, we would deal with each other and operate better with each other. But we got an inferiority mind state. So as long as we got a mind state of inferiority, there's going to always be supremacy of others. Okay. All nations going to be supreme over us as long as we operate like that.
Okay. It's crazy you brought that fury out, because I was going to touch on that too, but hey, you just did. So that's real spill.
Yeah, so many aspects, how in different ways you can go with it. You know, when you talk about Black genocide, you can talk about, you know, building as a nation. You can talk about the crime. You can talk about, you know, the breakdown of the family. It's just so many stumbling blocks amongst our own people. The never-ending conversation.
Yeah, and since you touched on that stumbling blocks amongst our people, that'll be my next question. What caused us as a nation to be vulnerable to the destructions that's before us? What caused us as a whole nation to be vulnerable to these things?
Feeling like we was different from each other, not understanding that we were one nation, I believe. You know, because, you know, we come from all different places. But so when we come together, we was all probably, I don't know if we spoke the same language or not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us probably didn't speak the same language. So we all came together. We felt as though we was all different. We from, you know, different areas, right? So now we around each other, different tribes, different, you know. So now we looking at each other with, you know, as though we different, but we not. We the same.
We the same. Yeah.
I believe that's what you know. That's my thoughts. You know, the Ak might have something different. That's the way I feel about it.
I feel you on that, because I done heard that jump before. I used to work at what was that? O'Reilly's Distribution Center. And I promise you, I was literally just talking to a brother about how it, like, we all the same people, just different complexions. Like it say, we a speckled bird, like different colors, but we the same bird. You know what I'm saying? And as I said that, an old head come out of nowhere. It's hot in the mug in here. I'm glad I got some African in me. I'm like, that brother right there, he got a little European in him. I'm looking like, bro, you sound just about goofy as heck. Not knowing you could be more European than me just because I'm a little ruddy over here. You know, we're gonna use the professional word. We ruddy over here. But that's just an example of what you just saying, though, thinking that we different. And that old brother should have been teaching me.
Right.
All right, man. You want to touch on that, Tez? With how we vulnerable to all this?
Yeah, I think what made us vulnerable is our leadership. Every when you come into the world, you're supposed to automatically have a leadership set up in your life, as a child. And we went into those curses and all that, touching on the Bible and all that. It said we wouldn't be the head, we would be the tail. In our leadership, this is 9:16 real quick. It said, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. So when kids don't have no leadership, they automatically gonna fall to the detriment of the environment. You know what I'm saying? We dealing with we children of the crack era. You know what I'm saying? And after that, after the crack era, what you got? You got Percocets, all these weed dispensaries all over. So it's like, where was the leadership to say no? You know what I'm saying? Well, so what they did was they attacked the leadership first. You get what I'm saying? All the leaders that were genuine, ready to die for their people, they either got fed time or they did. You know what I'm saying? So now what did they do? They set up people. They gave us our leaders now. So these kids ain't got no choice but to look up to, what they see on TikTok, social media, things like that. So our leadership, and that stems from way back. You can go all the way back. Our leadership failed, and it's been a generational destruction ever since then.
Yeah, that's crazy, because the Bible say, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and give destroy the heart. You know what I'm saying? Because you got brothers who be oppressed, right? And they can feel that oppression, and they get ready to rise up. And then every time we get ready to rise up, concerning our oppression, they always come with something to give, right? During the civil rights time, you know what I mean? That gift, you know what I'm saying? I would say could have been integration. Integration could have been the gift to pacify us. You know what I'm saying? And we now we getting somewhere, we moving. And that gift killed that fire in us to fight. You know what I'm saying? For our oppression, So, yeah.
Or do you think Martin Luther King was he sent by the opposition, or the people, the government, or do you think he was like a natural, did you think he genuinely wanted to integrate, or did matter of fact, that's a whole nother question. Do you think he was sent by the government?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. Oh, you got it.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I think on some real, I think it was all innocent with him until he really realized what was going on, and he was like, "Whoa, hold up! I wasn't trying to do this. Like, hold up! I done misled my people to a burning building. Like, hold up! I gotta warn them now." That's just my opinion. I think, but who knows? He could be. Our people is easily infiltrated. So, but I truly think the brother meant well. It's just somewhere down the line, he got vulnerable. Like the question, he got vulnerable to something. But at the end of the day, he realized that something was going on that wasn't right, and he tried to reverse that. So that's what I think. I think it was innocent to a certain extent, but he was vulnerable too, like we all get. You can go ahead, Ben.
I think it was I like you say, man. I think he started off. Man, because now I'm starting to think, because I remember his name was changed. It was Michael.
Michael,
King,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And think, and then you hear certain things, and then you go into certain records and you see that it's true, and then you find out, you know what I mean? So, but to be, I can't put a bead on it, to be honest with you. And I'm not gonna say yay or nay either way, because I don't want to speak on a brother and not be truthful or come with facts that I can actually prove. But I do know what the Bible says. It says when somebody comes, when a prophet raise up amongst you, talking about they have a dream and that dream come true. The dream was integration, and that dream came true. And then it said, the scripture said that prophet should be put to death. That's Deuteronomy 13. You know, now I know the scriptures say that, and that I can speak on that because that that happened,
Yeah.
you know, but you know, for me to actually speak on, you know, and say either way and put it out there for the masses, I will probably be bearing false witness, and I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, but I know the scriptures say.
God, that's real talk. Hey, if you can, since we talking about integration, being the last video I sent, it's an integration right up under it. You can click on that one.
The last
Yeah,
one.
that's a good question though about the Martin Luther. Because like being said too, we don't want to bear false witness. That's why I say, just my personal opinion, I think it was innocent, but you know, somewhere down the line, something could have happened. I don't know. But I just pray our people just be more willing to.
This will say part 2.
No, it's one up under that.
You just type integration. You ain't send that.
Oh, for real? I could have sworn I sent it. Hold on 2 seconds.
You just type integration.
I'm about to send it right now. You get it? I just sent it again.
Yeah. All right.
You see how fast that was? I done stepped my game up this week, boy.
Somebody get that brother a reward.
Dude, I got some yayan.
Coming along. What I tell you? No, I don't know what just happened. 1 second, y'all. Y'all brothers ain't got nothing on your mind.
Yeah. I was gonna get into something. I really didn't want to get off
The topic or whatever.
the topic of integration. But I can say this to try to get up with it. All right, I'm gonna read this. This is the most dangerous cities in America. This is St. Louis at number 1, Detroit number 2, Memphis number 3, Baltimore number 4, Little Rock, Arkansas number 5, Cleveland number 6, Oakland, California number 7, Stockton, that's New Jersey, 8, Milwaukee, Rockford, on and on, New Orleans, Flint. You know, what do all them cities have in common?
I was just gonna ask that question.
They predominantly black.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and since you talked about integration, I don't even think we can even blame that on integration, but you know, our people got a serious problem with violence, hating on each other, getting revenge on each other, just everything all around. It's a sin problem at the end of the day. You know, it's not really a stereotype anymore, you know. When people say I don't want to be around them people, you can't say that they stereotyping us no more because it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're gonna hear some gunshots in the hood, you're gonna hear some some homicide in the hood. You're gonna hear some drug dealing going on in the hood. Well, people gonna be like, well, what happened to everybody? But where does it happen the most at? You know what I'm saying? It ain't common to see
Mm-hmm.
that everywhere like it is where we operate at.
Right, right. And you're right. And to touch on what you said too, I don't blame it on integration, but what I would say through integration, like I said earlier, it was certain traits that we picked up on and we brought it back to our communities, not knowing that that's what was destroying us. That's why Nehemiah was letting them know, no, y'all not coming over here on these Sabbaths. I'm gonna have to put these hands on you. Because if Nehemiah would have allowed that, what would have happened? Our people would have been operating on them Sabbaths and doing it. That's the example I use why I brought the integration out.
No,
I,
I wouldn't question the integration. I was
oh no,
actually
no.
going to infuse that with that, but I thought about it
Mm,
like, dang, I can't even blame that on integration because
right.
you know, but it was I would say integration was a product of that because before the integration, those same cities were, middle class, hardworking, mother and father in the home. You
Mm-hmm.
know, these big cities, black cities, were where a lot of us were going to leaving the South. Coming up here to get good paying jobs.
Right.
So that was a part of integration because we would have never left our land down south that we inherited or we bought.
You're
You know what I'm
right.
saying? To come up here in the north to try to feed,
Yeah.
feed into the narrative that it's more better over this side.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And I know some people right now. It's crazy you brought that land up and going down all that stuff. I know some people right now who got some land
Mhm.
and through certain circumstances, things got how should I put it? Basically, like our people never really leave our children nothing. We the type of nation that don't really leave our kids nothing behind. So when you find out you really got something, you like, dang, that's mine. Dang, I ain't even know that. Let me go check it out. And that's what's going on right now.
Well,
Like,
do me a favor if you can.
what's that?
Can you give me the definition of like ghetto?
Ghetto. A quarter. Well, I'm gonna get the whole thing.
Yes.
GHC. Ghetto definition. Let me get the whole thing. Okay. The definition of ghetto: a poor urban area occupied primarily by a minority group or groups. Historically, this is the second definition. Historically, the Jewish quarter in a city. Let me read that again so everybody can really catch on to that. Historically, ghetto definition is the Jewish quarter in a city.
Mhm.
And people need to really pay attention to that because it's a quarter of the city, basically a quarter of the city where the Jews reside, right? Who in these ghettos right now to this day? Negroes and Haitians and Jamaicans and Mexicans and this, that, etc. So if it's historically a quarter of the city where the Jews reside, who are these Negroes and stuff in these ghettos right now? But they'll try these scholars, so-called scholars and whatnot, to try and flip that around and talk about like during the time when Hitler, when the Nazis was going at each other, or whatever. Um,
Mhm.
they was throwing the Jewish peoples in the slums of them cities. Nah, it ain't talking about that. It's basically letting you know, like, we them people, them Jewish, them quarters of the city where the Jews reside is us. We them people that's in them quarters of the city. And what's them quarters of the city? You got projects, subsidized housing, Section 8. You know what I'm saying? Those the quarters of the city. That's the slum. Because how we know that's what it's talking about? You go right back to that definition. It say the first definition say a poor urban area occupied primarily by minority groups. So it can't be talking about them ish people. It got to be talking about somebody else. But
Ben, you
you
still
can
there?
go ahead.
I guess he probably having some technical difficulties.
No, I ain't having no technical difficulties. I was waiting on y'all to get what y'all, get that out. I'm
okay.
Everything good.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, but yeah, that's because I have put a video up there too. When you get done with that video,
I see
on
it.
how the ghetto was created. You know, the mentality that our people got today wasn't just. It didn't just wake up like that. You know, it had to been prone to experimented on. They had to understand what we like, what we don't like, how we move in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's another video. Ben.
No, this is what Mike wanted to put up.
Oh, that's the one, Mike.
That's the integration video?
That's the one you sent me, the last one.
Okay.
You sure this it?
Hold up. No, that can't be
that
it.
would say rappers called lacking.
Yeah, I think that's a different. I think that's what Ted sent, one of Ted's videos.
Yeah, I think that's right.
This is what you sent.
Okay, hold up. Let me go back to YouTube right quick. I think they're getting mixed up right now.
Hey, go to the ghetto experiment. That talk about integration too. Yeah, we get into it. It's just
yeah. Go ahead and do that. Because we ain't trying to hog up all the time. Yeah, go ahead and do that. The ghetto experiment.
Post it in there though, so that you can get that one next. Yeah, we can talk about that integration. Bye.
I gotta go back and find it. Shoot.
Yeah, say ghetto experiments. I put on there.
We got it. I got it.
Okay, I'm about to post it in there now. I just put it in there.
Like many songs will tell you,
bullet holes left in my people.
the story of what housing and other living conditions look like for many Black Americans is pretty bleak, and that's by design. In addition to artists cataloging their very personal experiences,
When the landlord dissed us, no heat. Wonder why Christmas missed us.
it's been proven that the modern phenomenon of concentrated Black poverty was an intentional government-sponsored institution. This is in part why President Biden issued an executive order back in January, intended to right the historical wrongs Black folks have faced when it comes to housing and home ownership in this country. But first, let's take it back.
The dawn of the 20th century, African Americans in major cities lived scattered throughout the city. They weren't segregated particularly. It's only with the Great Migration of 6 to 7 million African Americans north and west escaping the South, the predominant response of the United States government and state and local governments to the Great Migration was to contain Black people in their own neighborhoods. And HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, was particularly a part of this role. With the precursors to HUD, introduced and encouraged racially restrictive covenants, redlining of every major city where African Americans landed. The federal government was a sponsor of urban renewal, infamously called Negro removal by the great James Baldwin.
Urban renewal, which means moving the Negroes out. It means Negro removal. That is what it means. And the federal government is an accomplice to this fact.
That so-called urban renewal also included a federally sponsored interstate highway system, which was intentionally designed to mow through vibrant Black neighborhoods. Take Miami, for example. 2 highways, I-95 and I-395, bulldoze right through the predominantly Black and low-income Overtown neighborhood, previously called Colored Town during segregation.
The Department of Housing and Urban Development and the federal government writ large in the first 7 decades of the 20th century invested billions of dollars in racial segregation and concentrated poverty. Each time this country created a peculiar institution that subordinated Black people, slavery, Jim Crow, it created and dismantled it. They replaced it with another one. And the iconic Black ghetto, I don't use that as a pejorative, I use it as a descriptor, was a follow-on institution to slavery and Jim Crow. That's the legacy that every new administration inherits, and the Biden administration has as well.
Today, I'm directing the Department of Housing and Urban Affairs and Urban Development to redress the historical racism in federal housing policies.
This executive order is just one of
But I always notice they do with our people.
designed to address racial equity in the United States. And while this progress is a step in the right direction, there's still
You saying something, bro?
Yeah, I don't know, the video lagging a lot, but it's could be all right. But no, I was gonna say I notice what they always do is they know we very emotional people, man. They'll admit to what they did and everybody will calm down. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we never got our retribution or what they would call reparations for all these acts of domestic terrorism against our own people, you know, from the government. I thought that was interesting, man. They, you know, because all they said was he wrote, basically taking accountability from a government standpoint that they did these things. But, you know, where do we go from here? You know, the destruction is already done. What are you going to do to fix it, you know? And that same Joe Biden was just saying in the video, what did he say? He said, it's not just the African Americans, it's basically the reason why America's going down the drain. So y'all was the ones that put this stuff on us. And then when we start acting out as a result of that, this is the outcome of all the things that you did to us. We destroying ourselves and everything around us. Now, you know, we the problem. But yeah, you know, this is we showing the origin of you know, because Black culture is genocide, but we didn't just start off like that. We had a you know, root cause to that effect. Yeah, you can go ahead.
And that's Black American culture, because you can go outside of America. You could go outside of America and find Black people in Black places, Black lands, you know, places where it's predominantly, you know, so-called Black people. And they ain't living like we live. You know what I'm saying? They probably see about 4, 5, maybe if that murders per year. You know what I'm saying? But where we come from, you see it in man, per year, the United States as a whole probably, man, ain't no telling how many thousands of murders the United States as a whole see. And I'm talking about murders from us, killing each other. You know, so yeah, Black culture is definitely genocide, from the food we eat all the way to the music we listen to, you know, to the places we send our kids to go to school and be educated. It's all genocide, you know. But yeah, Black American culture. So you want me to finish this out, this video?
Cool. No, that should be it, man. You know, I was just thinking about you know, this every time somebody's birthday come around in America, it's like turn into a superstar. You know, you start worshiping yourself. You start worshiping yourself just to get everybody crowded around you in the club. You got on your best outfit on, just to yell, yay, hey. Your favorite song come on. We're about to get drunk and high as I can be. So you're not even gonna remember it anyway. You just gonna hear about it the next day, like, man, you was so messed up, you was clowning.
I was.
You know, that's our culture, bro. Like, man, that's our culture, man.
That's crazy. That's real talk. Our people, man, God dog, that's real talk. Like, my man just got out the joint doing 5 years. And people, he'd think a person, his friend, that'd get him high before a person that's trying to keep him on the straight path. But like you said, that's our culture, being zooted and polluted. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
I got your video, Mike.
Yeah, yeah, the integration one, yeah. Not the last one, but you see it.
The last one. What you mean, not the last
one? No, I just sent one by mistake. I just sent one by mistake, but it's one that say integration.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I got both of those pulled up anyways.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Our culture is basically destruction, death.
Hey man, all praises to the Father though, man, that a lot of us are beginning to recognize what it is. You know what I'm saying? We could to some degree stand in the gap, man. You know what I'm saying? And try to, you know, holler from the roof, holler from the mountains, and tell our people, you know, what it is, man. Because a lot of them just don't know.
Man, that's true. That's true. And you'd be surprised how many really don't know here in the States. Like, bro, all this information out here, you still don't know? That's sad. That's sad.
Man.
Hey, that's part of the Black culture too. You want to hide it from a nigga? Put it in the book. That's Black culture. Sad to say.
Man,
here you go right here. Yeah, that brother Ted's on YouTube.
The way to control melanated people is keeping them poor and disenfranchised, and this is what has happened to Black people in America. There's a reason why Black people have been economically undermined, because it's very easy to control poor people. When people are poor, you can do whatever you want to them, and they won't have the economic power to fight back. They won't have the economic power to put a politician into power to help them out. They won't have the economic base to really take care of their basic needs. So then you can control them any way you want to.
See, white folk lend us money. They don't pay us because they know that they're going to get it right back.
1866 and up to about into the 1920s, Black folk had the greatest economic achievement they've ever had in this country. Even though it didn't occur under integration, it occurred under segregation. Those Black folk had managed to acquire over 20 million acres of land, according to the United States Census in 1920. 20 million acres of land. But between 1920s and 1950s, they lost almost all of it. Back in the 1920s and up to the 1940s, we had Black broom factories, we had Black mattress factories. Almost every Black major city had at least 2 cab companies. We had Black bus companies. We had Black shipyard up here in Baltimore. When I say Black bus lines, I'm not talking about just having 3 or 4 buses. We had over 500 buses. And this is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And our bus company didn't just service just the black neighborhoods, it serviced the blacks and the white neighborhoods. We had 2 black cab companies. We had the Harris Cab Companies and the Campbell City Cab Companies. But they used to have their own restaurants. They had the best nightclubs in the country. The blacks had 2 baseball leagues. Each baseball league had 8 teams. We had over 500 of the best baseball players in the world. But what did they do? They wanted to integrate. So as soon as they put Jackie Robinson on the Brooklyn Dodgers, black folks said, we'll give up all of our black baseball leagues, black teams, and all our black players, and we can just get one black boy to play on a white team.
Black Americans were gung-ho about integration because we thought that would be our passport to freedom. We equated integration with freedom.
That scared whites to death. And see, at that time you had whites, a lot of these white separate communities. You had white Polish communities, you had white Jewish communities, you had white Italian communities, you had white Irish communities. And white folks said, well, we're not going to if these blacks are going to integrate, we're going to come together and organize as a unit. And so white folks then dropped all their little communities and said, no, we're going to organize as a one white block. We're not going to talk about I'm being Polish and you're Irish and German anymore. We ain't going to do that anymore. We're going to stick together as a group. Because we're not going to let all these blacks come and penetrate us.
Because we were doing things and becoming self-sufficient, that became a threat. So instead of them just coming out and attacking, because they couldn't just come out with an all-out attack, we were a little bit too strong for that, and we would have fought back, and there would have been a civil unrest that would have definitely undermined the security of the country. Instead, they said, well, let's invite them into a place that they've always coveted, and that is into the white estuaries of power, into the white citadels of power. Let us make sure we bring them in and incorporate them to us, and therefore, being that they're going to have to buy their facilities and all their materials from us, they're going to have to interface with us anyway, they're going to dress like us, act like us, and we will take the best of what they have and capitalize eventually and take it over. We will have quelled or stopped any threat or competition to our business, and that's exactly what they did.
So black folks stripped themselves of all their resources, they stripped themselves of their unity, they stripped themselves of the role model when all blacks used to live together. Then they had their own role models, all the doctors and lawyers and teachers with the black lived all together. You had a sense of community. You knew each other, you trusted each other, you worked with each other, you participated with each other. You learned how to buy from each other, to sell each other, to support each other, to care about each other, to love each other. Where black folk up in integration, blacks never locked their homes.
We practice a very profound humanity. If an Asian opens a store in our community, we do not boycott and discriminate against them. If an Arab opens a store in our community, we do not boycott and discriminate against them. If a Jewish person opens a store in our community, we do not boycott and discriminate against them. We shop with all peoples. We treat all peoples equally. The problem is they're not treating us equally. See, we caught in our own humanity. And until we begin to address that and demand that others practice towards us the same human concern and love that we practice towards them, we will stay in this situation.
Yeah. The brother said something key right there. He said, like with Jackie Robertson, he said basically the reason why the brother desired to be basically in the major leagues or whatever is because of the freedom that he wanted. At least he thought he would have some type of freedom. Not knowing being with your people was even, you had more freedom. And like, our people just don't understand. Like, even the Most High don't, like, he tell you in the scripture that the Most High told us not to mingle with certain nations. But our people, man, it's so sad that it come a point to when you realize, like, dude, you realize, like, do our people really want to be like these nations? Like, what's going on? Like, you had a whole baseball league to yourself, but you want to go over there with them in the MLB. You had your own taxi companies. You had 2 taxi companies, but you want to go over here with checkers. You had a bus stop, a bus station or whatever, a bus company that pick up your people as well as they people, but now you want to go with the city, the local city's bus station. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, why do our people want to be like that? Like, what benefits comes from that?
It's the illusion of inclusion.
Or the American dream.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, just look at it. We see it time and time again. I mean, we looked at Kanye. Kanye basically, I guess they use that to kind of put fear in people. He tried to stand up and try to, carry his brand, because the brand basically is his name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they basically took everything from him after that. Then he started owing taxes and all that. But let's look at LeBron. Let's say if LeBron James, like, who is the 3 top? LeBron James, they say, a self-proclaimed billionaire. They say Steph Curry is a self-proclaimed billionaire. Okay, if they are, then why can't they just walk away and start their own thing over here? You ain't got to deal with rules no more, right?
Exactly.
So it's always we don't produce. We got the talent, but we're not the producers. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, you got record labels. They're supposed to be the distributors, but we're the ones with the talent. So I think it was Jay Prince, Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and somebody else. They all wanted to come, together their own money. Yeah, but that's allegedly the feds came after them, and they started dealing with all they cases and all that.
They wanted to detach from them folks they was up under and start their own little distribution thing.
Yeah,
they's like, nah, y'all not about to do that. We need that money. Either y'all gonna stay with us or we gonna shut that down. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. So we don't really, specifically in America, we don't really have a home base, man. I mean, you can't say, oh, we gonna rock Nigerian, we gonna rock with the Nigerian flag, or we gonna rock with the Tanzanian flag, the Kenya flag. We all, we everything. So it's like we don't have nothing to just be like, all right, this is what we gonna. You gotta have something that you identify as first before you go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Or get anything done. You was talking about the Ish people. Man, I mean, they might disagree, but they all agree on, the Holocaust or, or whatever. Go ahead. My bad.
Hey, man, but he said, it's crazy talking about just the Ish people, but because he said white folks as a whole stuck together. All of them came together like, no, we ain't letting them in. Hey, think about how we would feel. Think about how we would feel in this day and age, right? Or, we in the hood, right? And then next thing you know, they start just placing people amongst us, just saying, hey, we're going to integrate them into your areas. We'll be looking the same way, like, wait a minute, no, hold up. But the difference is between us and them is, like you said, we so divided all over the place. We wouldn't even be able to come together and put up and stand solid and be like, no, y'all can't come over here. This is our neighborhood. This is our area here. Y'all stay over there with y'all customs and y'all way of life. And we're going to stay over here with our customs and our way of life. Ain't nothing wrong with being separated. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with it. For some reason, our people feel as though you made it once you move out to a certain neighborhood or a certain area. When, you know what I'm saying, if you're doing a certain thing, if you got a business or something, put that in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Bring it to your people. Bring service and provide jobs to your people. And then, you get people that say, hey, man, shoot, I get robbed, put it in the hood, this and that. Well, that may be true, Well, you hire that dude. Hire them people. Provide some jobs. Maybe you ain't gonna find them. Maybe they ain't gonna rob them.
Hey, that's real spill. Because that goes back to the story when we used to talking about the other day when I was at the gas station and that the Arabic brother told me not to get my brother, the youngin, some money. I'm like, bro, I'm saving him from robbing you. Like, what are you talking about? But at the same time, they'll tell us not to help our people. We yet turn around and help theirs. They'll have that company for 7 years. When it's time to pay them taxes, they'll go back and give it to their people. But yeah, our people go off to these temples or whatever and learn from these folks. And the first thing they tell them, don't deal with your people. Come to mines.
Like you got people that go get a degree. They go get a degree in business or something like that, right? Right? Our own people go to one of in these colleges, these institutions, these temples, right? They learning the way of life. All right, so they go up in these colleges, they go up in these institutions, right? And they get a degree telling them that they have a certain, knowledge in this business or whatever, right? Now, when they come back amongst family, that family got a business plan laid out. Like, hey, I got the means to do it, and you got the credentials to do it. So let's make it happen. Right? So you go to try to mix that together, and the first thing that person tell you they got that degree, they say, well, the first thing I learned in school was you don't deal with family. That's what they say to you, right? But not check it out. You don't see none of the other nations doing that. You see them hiring they
not to do that.
Exactly. All the other people, they working together. They building together.
That's the terrible thing, bro. That's terror right there.
Hey, check this out. Look at this. Look at this. I got a word for y'all. For the audience out there. I know y'all know it, but I got a word for the audience. Look at this. This word right here. Nepotism. This is what we lack. Nepotism. The practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs. That's what we lack. We lack nepotism. And all the other nations, they deal with nepotism. They'll deal with their own folks. Before they even think about dealing with you, they building with each other. Hey.
That's crazy.
I think that's tough.
So now through that, say you do come up now, what happened? Our people become crabs in the bucket. Now that you up, they want to pull you back down. Oh, you better than us. Oh, you this, that, etc. Now they want to pull you back down. A lot of people don't understand that concept. When you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, a lot of them try and climb to the top. But then you have those on the bottom pulling them back down. That's why you always see them falling over and stuff. That's our people right there, the crabs in the bucket syndrome. And
I was about to say, are we really at the point where we actually can freely help anybody like that? To be really
I would say yourself? Some of us, maybe some of us, but we choose not to because those some of us is up under the hands of they masses, they burdens.
Yeah, because I think we've been so tampered with on every level, mentally, emotionally, religiously, all over the board. We've been tampered with so much. It's like, can we even identify with our own anymore? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you got to create a tribal. It's like we got to have a tribal war amongst ourselves before we can get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you might try to build something, you try to get your people over, and they might tear it down.
That's why you can't deal. Exactly. And that's why we can't deal with everybody, even amongst our own. You know what I'm saying? But one thing we don't have to do is air out all our dirty laundry either. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to get out there and be all out there broadcasting to all nations and everybody. You know what I'm saying? About our people. No other people do that.
Yeah.
No other people do that but us.
That's the thing I do give. I thought about Malcolm X as soon as you said that, because they would always get you on these big platforms and they would ask you, well, how do you feel about you try to, make your own people like the opposition and get you to publicly speak negatively about them to create a divide.
Yeah. Farrakhan was like that once upon a time too. How dare you? You have no right. A land that spilled blood. You know what I'm saying? He used to be like that. That brother used to be out cold with that thing. But hey, you know what? Let me get an example of this crab in the bucket now that I thought about it. I'm gonna read a passage out of the Valley of Dry Bones for those who never read this book by Rudolph Windsor, which is a brother from another mother. This page 4. And basically this whole passage going to say that a person, actually, I'm gonna use the analogy I used earlier with the hot dog stand. A brother got a hot dog stand over here, and then agent or whoever got a hot dog stand over here. But this brother that got a hot dog stand is being hated on by his own people. That person asking for this, that, etc. type of all these credentials, but go straight to the Asian brother and don't do that. They just like, hey, let me get a hot dog with coleslaw on it and mustard. But this just an example of what this going into. This page 4. It says, some time ago, I had a bad experience with a woman who acted like a crab. I had a refreshment cart, which I pushed around the streets. After I had made a complete circuit of the neighborhood, it was my practice to wait 15 or 20 minutes on a certain busy corner to serve my customers. When I was starting to make another circuit of the neighborhood, a certain woman, a known big mouth, yelled out to me, "Hey, mister, we don't want you selling around here. We are trying to keep someone from opening a store on the corner." I said, "I am not a store. I am a vendor." The woman asked, "Do you have a license?" "Show me your license." I replied angrily, "I don't have to show you my license. As a matter of fact, I had the license, but I was only obligated to surrender to the police or the agents from the Department of License and Inspection." So basically, this brother had a juice vendor. He going through the neighborhood selling juice, just trying to make an honest living. He could have been out here robbing or doing whatever, but he trying to make an honest living. And this big mouth sister want to come up. And how do we know she's a sister? We gonna get to that part. But this sister want to come and check this brother. Where your license at? We trying to stop them from opening a store. We trying to stop a store from opening around here. But this brother like, hold up, sister. I'm just trying to make an honest living. Like, what is you doing? But we gonna keep going. It say, she said vehemently, "If you don't show me your license, I will call the police." I exclaimed, "Call the police." Then I asked her, "What are you interested in the most? Prohibiting me from selling around here or seeing my license?" That's key right there. Are you more interested in me not selling around here or seeing my license? She did not answer me. So I went on my way. About a half an hour later, while I was selling my refreshments, a policeman drove up alongside of me and requested to see my license. I showed it to him, and he read it again, and he read it and said, "You are all right. Continue on with your business." So this sister did all this junk, not knowing this brother was really legit. But she tried to stir up a bunch of mischief because this brother was doing something honest. It was some type of spirit on her that didn't like what this brother was doing. So she tried to hate on him. It say, "If you are like me, you can probably conjure what the white police officer thought and said to his relative and friends." So now this brother like, man, if y'all was me, y'all could picture what this police got in the car and told his compadre. And this what he told his compadre. They say, "Let us pretend for a moment that the police officer is attending a party." And one of his friends approached him and asked, how are things going in the police department, Joe?" Joe answered, "Everything is pretty good. The other day, they transferred me to an all-black neighborhood, and I am learning a lot about black people that I didn't know before, but had only heard about." So now this police, this is just an example that this brother who wrote this made up about this police. Like, what if he went to a party and he talking to his compadre, and the compadre said, "How's work going?" He's like, man, it's going straight, but I just started working in this black neighborhood, and I didn't know they was like that. That's what this police saying. I didn't know they get down like this. His partner, his compadre, like, what you mean get down like what? So we about to show you what he's saying. He said, what do you mean, Joe? Well, yesterday I received a call about a man selling on the streets without a license. After investigating the situation, I found out that the man had a license. You see, many people complain that black men are lazy and don't want to work. And yet when one found a job and try to make an honest living without selling or without stealing, one of his own kind reported him to the police. I just don't understand these N words. They are against their own kind. And they have a nerve to talk about white folks. This how you know there was a sister, because he said his own kind called him. That's how you know there was a sister. But the whole purpose of this was an example of showing the crabs in the bucket. This brother was trying to make an honest living, selling juice or whatever. But while he was selling that juice, you had this big mouth sister coming, talking about we don't want no stores opening up. But if that store would have opened up, y'all think she would have went in that store doing that crap? No, because they would have threw her up out of there and got her together or whatever. But that's just an example of the crabs in the bucket. And it's crazy that police say that, because I'm sure they probably say that for real every time they come in our neighborhoods. Like, man, these Negroes something else, man. I ain't never witnessed nothing like this. I bet you they probably say that for real. But y'all can go ahead.
Yeah, man. I think it's just perfect. We prisoners of war for real, man. You know what? Well, when a nation conquered another empire, you know what they do? They broke down the men, killed them, and they took the women for concubines, and they raised, you know, they did what they wanted to with the children. So our women, a lot of our women is just acting out, you know, they looking at us like, you know, we defeated, you know, and they treating them, the white people, or whoever the conqueror is, as the authority in the matter. You know what I'm saying? That's why you would have sister call the police on your man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They naturally, you know, that's what they doing.
Yeah. But then you have sisters that actually stand up for brothers. But then brothers will turn around and mess up and do some bullshiggity to them. If you can, Ben, get that the very first video that's in there. You can get that one. You have sisters that stand up for brothers, but then the brothers will start being crabs in a bucket. So it's like a two-way street. Our people just destroy for a lack of knowledge, man. Our people out here suffering. Sometimes don't even care to get healed. So. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, we like to talk about the other nations and what they doing to us a lot, man. But to be honest, we are our own worst enemy, man.
Exactly.
That's the truth. And it's always been that way. It's always been that way. Like when we was just looking at the integration videos, and we talking about some Jackie Robinson, and you know what I'm saying? We looking at Jackie. Now that I look at it, you know, they venerate Jackie Robinson as though, you know, that was some great feat that he did in joining the, you know, the major leagues or whatever. You know what I mean? When we had our own leagues, man, that was power. We could have built on those things, man, and really, you know, created something for our children and, you know, our legacy. You know, that's crazy, man. Yeah, we are our own worst enemy, bro. And you know, like you was just speaking on, you know, with the sisters and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of sisters out here who love, you know, brothers, and who actually got some sense when it comes to certain things like that. They ain't gonna be hollering about they about to call the police and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now it seems as though the tables is beginning to turn though, because we get catching a lot of Karens out here now. You know what I'm saying? The other nations.
Come on. There's a lot of them. Call them Kathys.
Kathy Lee.
Real. But this an example of crab in a bucket right here. Shoot. Yeah, that's it.
If you're a gun owner, you need to stop what you're doing right now. Watch this next video because there are so many things to learn from it.
As you see, the sister sitting there trying to help him.
You got to kill me. Watch this. I'm sorry. You got it.
She said, watch this.
Hey, baby, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's go right now. Okay, I'm sorry. Damn, baby. Now you go.
I know that brother ain't shot trying to flirt still.
Man, he shot, but he ain't trying to flirt.
He said, baby. Baby, I'm sorry.
I don't want that. Didn't I? I don't want that. Yeah, baby. Didn't I just say I
Oh, man, he did say that.
kill you? Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? Didn't I? I'm sorry. You.
That boy sound like a 4-5 or something, man.
And she was letting that boy holler.
Then.
I don't want to die, baby. Please. You. Call police. I just shot somebody.
What you say? Pause it.
Yeah.
She was letting that boy holler.
I don't want to die, baby. Hey, he's still trying to throw that baby in there. Come on, man. I'm trying to patch it up. That's why he's saying that baby thing. I'm trying to patch it up. I was a crab at first, but I should have just helped you up. But at the end of the day, this is what's going on. We hurting each other. That brother tried to hurt that sister, not knowing that she was legally able to carry. And she told him, I'm going to kill you. Did she have the right to do it? Yes, because she was protecting herself because this dude wanted to be a crab. Now that she protected herself, what did he do? I'm sorry, baby.
But you know what? I don't think we can necessarily because I notice a lot of these in the Black conscious community, we always it is a form of it. I mean, a little reason of it, but we always blame these things on poverty. You know what I'm saying? Because we always been poor. You know what I'm saying? We still had a level of respect for each other. Yeah. Traditional values. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at a lot of these African countries, they poor. You know what I'm saying? But it's still peaceful there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they can give us all the money. You think all the crime gonna go away?
Lie. Yeah. But that's basically it with that video, though. I just wanted to get that part just to show an example of crab in a bucket.
Wait a minute, though. Look, but check out how even more crazy it gets. Now his family's suing her for $10 million.
I ain't even peeped that part.
Yeah.
You see that it said at the bottom right there. Now his family's suing her for $10 million. Man, come on, man.
That's crap. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I didn't even peep that, bro. I just watched a little bit of the video. I'm like, man, I gotta put this one up. That's crazy.
And you see the crazy. The only reason they doing that is because she's a police officer.
Yep.
If she was just somebody who just blasted them, they wouldn't be looking to sue like that.
Exactly.
But they trying to sue the police department. That's what it is.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. They feel like they can get over now because it's the city workers or whatever. So hey, I'm about to hit a lick right quick. But
so what? Now this woman was supposed to let that man overpower her.
Exactly. And if he would have overpowered her, would they still sue?
But see, if he would have overpowered her, and then found out she had a gun, then she would have been the one hit up.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
That's
he thought he
sad.
had an easy target. That's all, and it flipped off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why she told her what she told him. I'm about to kill you.
She let him
It's
have
sad
it.
it
That's
even
for
gotta
sure.
go that way. That's some sad things, man.
She let him have it. That's for sure.
I think the Most High, she made it out that situation because there's a lot of that bull mess going on in our communities. And that ain't the first time dang, that's crazy. Now that I think about it, that ain't the first time I seen some wickedness happen like that and that person trying to sue. When I was younger, it was somebody in the neighborhood. This when we stayed over there on the John R area and all that. But anyway, somebody tried to break in one of the community neighbors' houses or whatever. Didn't know that they had a dog in the house, a Rottweiler. Person broke in that house and that Rottweiler gave him the business. Do you know this person that broke in the house took the neighbor to court, tried to sue him? Like, you did me wrong, but you trying to sue me. How wicked is that? That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, y'all can go here.
That's them Sodom laws, man.
Yeah. That's real spill.
Yeah, I think another part of this should be like where our people accept accountability, is I think we still take pride in it's what we call Black culture still, man. Like people still trying to uphold what this is. And like it's interesting you had brought up you had sent that video of Charleston White. I was actually checking it out. And he was saying, man, like name one thing we did in like the last, all these like 40, 50 something years, something like that, 100 years. And I was thinking about it, like, of course, there's gonna be people that's gonna say certain things, like, "Oh, Obama president, this, that." But you gotta really look at it though. Like, what can we really be proud of, man? Everything that we thought was an accomplishment took us 10 steps backwards. Okay, let's say Obama. Okay, yeah, we got a Black president. What did Obama bring in? The LGBT movement all across the African nations. He brought, same-sex marriage. I think we was better before Obama. At least we knew what was wrong. Like, no, you couldn't do that. No, you can't do that. Now it's more like, okay, now that's accepted, man.
We don't know what a line is.
Right.
We don't have no moral. We don't have no moral compass. We don't have no way in which we should go morally. We don't understand. We are a generation devoid of understanding, man.
Yeah. But that's what happened when they tell you that these laws done away with in your community. And that's what happened. Because we all know, well, at least us right here, and that's in the chat and all that stuff, we know that some of the laws that consist of in the Bible goes back to moral laws. When you take that away, we look how we acting towards each other. Well, that's messed up. But if y'all want, we can go ahead and get in these scripts, shooting. Because I know it's kind of late over there on your side of town.
Hey, man. Hey, actually, it's late, but man, I'm chilling, man. It ain't really that late, like it normally be when we be here.
Okay.
Hey, you ain't gotta play that whole video, but just play some of that. I want to get y'all thoughts on that too. About that video. They say the baby daddy,
baby mama,
yeah, culture.
Hey,
I got you. Yeah, that's it's late over here, man, but I'm chilling, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Got a nice,
I know y'all
nice crib. Nice crib back there.
Yeah, that's a nice little house. You got the swivel steps.
Oh, yeah, we doing well, brother.
Looks like you got the
You know what I'm saying?
bookshelf over there. All right, now, young brother. And they say Africa is poverty. Man, y'all better shut that brainwash mess up.
You bearing false witness with that screen, that green screen.
We try to boost them.
Hey. Look, there go them crabs.
Hey, nah, we ain't crabs in the bucket. We want that crab boil.
Oh man, just a bunch of abomination. Oh man.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The pink book.
United States to be a developed country, the rate of pregnancy-related mortality is alarming. It's higher now than any other time since the year 2000. The maternal mortality rate increased by nearly 20% between 2019
fair use
in 2020. And although complications impact pregnant women,
all these videos are fair use.
In America of all races, we can't dispute the fact that Black women in the United States have a significantly higher pregnancy-related mortality rate compared to other racial groups. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Black women are more than 3 times as likely to die from pregnancy-related causes as white women. This disparity persists even after controlling factors such as education and income. Experts argue there are several possible reasons for this disparity. They point to Black women who may be more likely to experience medical conditions such as hypertension and diabetes that can increase the risk complications during pregnancy. In addition, studies have shown that Black women are more likely to face inadequate prenatal care and bias in the healthcare system, leading to delays in diagnosis and treatment of pregnancy-related complications. These issues are being highlighted more as stories surface of Black women and American women in general having pregnancy complications that leave them disabled or lifeless. It's no doubt that giving birth is risky. Women are literally putting their lives on the line to have babies. It's a serious issue and another reason why women should be very selective when making the decision to create babies. One that became a reality for the family of Nikita Washington, a 35-year-old woman on her 12th birthday. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates.
12?
To everybody watching from Detroit, if you're in the D, definitely let me know below. Nikita Washington was born the year 1987, grew up in Detroit. She wasn't provided with much, but she attended Denby High School, where she dropped out in the 11th grade after getting pregnant with her first kid. She had the baby, a son, 19 years ago. At 16 years old, Nikita went on to have 3 more kids by the age of 20. Her younger siblings would describe her as a fun big sister who would host parties at her house and allow her younger sisters to do anything they wanted. They definitely had a lot of fun hanging out with their sister.
Video tripping, man. It's lagging. Commercial coming out.
Yeah. I'll have to stop it.
What this is.
Yeah. They tell you that her childhood, you know, when you get further along into the actual video, I explained that so she ended up dying as a result of, you know, they said she had complications. Said she had complications on her 12th baby. and she ended up dying as a result of that. That's a lot of the family had questions and that themselves. They was trying to get answers, but they wouldn't put out that confidential information. But no, man. The reason I was putting this out was because you had this whole baby mama, baby daddy culture, bro. And it's like, where the heck was the father at? Where was the fathers at of these 12 kids? And okay, granted, she kept laying down with different guys because they said it was 3 possible fathers, but they don't, they was nowhere to be found. One of them, I believe, was deceased. One of them was locked up. So even as a man, if you see a woman like this, obviously she's dealing with some type of, past or something she's dealing with. Why would you then decide to, produce another child to make them, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To grow up in this world to be, it's messed up, man. But yeah, she ended up losing her life, man, giving birth to the 12th child. And now the grandma is with 12 kids, man.
I was just looking at that.
If you listen to what they were saying, she said she would be her crib was like the turn up house. She was like the party to her little brothers and sisters. Like, where was the parents at? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got to put the mom and the dad back together, man. Family is what keeps us together when we dealing with poverty. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine you a struggling mother and the father's not around. Now you got to go make the money. Now who's protecting those kids? You know what I'm saying? So you need that mother and that father, structure in that home. But yeah, that's a sad, unfortunate situation, man, that I see more too often, and it's not blaming women or it's not, blaming men, but we're just looking at our family structure all together. Like, we got to do something better because that's a big form of genocide, right in itself. And let me read this scripture real fast. This is Isaiah chapter 3 in verse 5. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. So, when you take, when you take the leadership out of the home or out of even the neighborhood, you have these kids growing up to be what we used to call them bastards. You know what I'm saying? They would call him a bastard because this child don't have no guidance or direction. So now he's prone to be, a terrorist in his environment. Those were the kids you had to watch closely. Like, hold on, he might be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So then you got young women who don't have no protection. So now they're prone to what? You always remember the young girls was messing with the older guys. You know what I'm saying? So now the older guys, they coming around. It ain't no man to court this woman off, or look at even court the dude to see if he if he eligible to even to be with his daughter. They don't have no father around. So now you have a woman like this who's just having baby after baby after baby, and now these children are blossoming up in this bad environment. And what do you have? You have Black culture and being tainted by the Black culture. This keep happening and happening and happening. And this is what we have today. Y'all got anything to say about that video?
Ain't no judgment, man. It ain't no judgment, bro. You can't say nothing to nobody. Everybody too soft. So when you go and say something to, about this, because, the sister passed on, unfortunately. And that's an unfortunate, thing that happened, and I pray the family is, moved on and they, get a peace of mind and things of that sort. But the thing is, you can't speak on nothing, man. It ain't no judgment amongst our people. You can't speak on nothing. Like me and my cousin, we were speaking the other day and we was talking about this no snitching culture and all of that type of thing. It's pretty much, and I'm saying that I know we talking about this sister here with the the situation, but I'm saying that because you can't judge nothing. So when it comes to the people who are afraid to judge situations, that's what they are. They're afraid. It's a fear. You're scared to say something to these people, understanding that, you see somebody jumping in the bed, a sister jumping in the bed with all of these different men and having all of these different children, from different men and things of that sort, right? Somebody need to say something to her.
But in our community, that's right. But in our community, you can't judge me. You know what I'm saying? Even though it ain't judging, you just trying to help.
And it's gonna be like the scripture Cortez just said. The it's gonna be tripping out on the elders for trying to check them and put them in place.
Yeah. Or the promiscuous women raising monsters.
You know what's what I heard? Another thing what Charleston had said. He said the best thing for these young men. He said he was like, he didn't want to say it, but he said prison and the army. And I was like, dang, I had to think about it because like dang, prison, because that break a lot of people. But then I had to think about it a lot of these, he said a lot of these brothers come out, they done read 40 books, you know what I'm saying? They in shape, you know what I'm saying? They look better. A lot of us do need that type of judgment, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna hear it from, somebody else. When you got a father and a mother in your home, you constantly being judged every day. You get what I'm saying? Oh, you in there acting up. Hey, stop that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sit down. Oh, spank that butt. 8 cents from a baby, and get judged. So by the time they get older, now that seed that you planted in them, now they gotta live their life the way how you raised them. You know what I'm saying? Either they're gonna stick to that or they're gonna go off.
Right.
So you're not used to judgment when you grow up without the accountability. So now you acting out when that judgment try to be put on you. You know what I'm saying? You out here wilding. So now you need that prison. You need that, you know what I'm saying? Something that's a structure in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real talk. And we also have to be careful too, because how they were saying like black women is more likely to pass away from giving birth than white women. And then they throwing stuff out there like diabetes and all this stuff. They put labels on these pregnant sisters as well. We got to watch out for that. So heck, they tried that with my wife. Oh, you a type 2 diabetes or whatever they tried to say some diabetes thing, man. I'm like, bro, man, if y'all don't get on with this crap, she been fine way before this. Now all of a sudden she diabetic. And then not just my wife, my sister, when she had her daughter, out of nowhere, she became real ill. She was in the hospital. She never left the hospital. She was in the hospital for a few days. Out of nowhere, she got real ill to the point to where they had to put her in a induced coma. So that right there lets you know they put her in that coma.
And you already know what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. But now they want to talk about sisters is more vulnerable to passing away through death because of what they doing to them in there. That's why, like Ted was saying earlier, it's just important that the family be together because a man need to be there with these sisters when these things happening. So they can be like, no, you ain't doing that, or hold up, let me see what that's about, or whatever, blah, blah, split. We can't just keep leaving these sisters out there by herself. And that's what we gotta pay attention to that.
And that go judgment there. Hey, look, this Psalms 37. Psalms 37 and 28. It say, for the Most High love judgment and forsake not his saints, they are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. So when it say he forsake not his saints, understand this. If the Most High, if it ain't time for you to go, you ain't going nowhere. Ain't no man it ain't a man in this world that can make a judgment on your life. It's the Most High that decree for the life. So the thing is, what are you afraid of? If what you mean stop snitching? If somebody caught doing something that's affecting your neighborhood negatively, say something. You know what I mean? Quit being afraid. The Most High say he gonna preserve his saints. He loves judgment. So when he see you operating doing things that he loves, guess what he gonna do? He gonna stand right there and make sure you protect. Listen here, no man on the earth. If we go back into the Gospels, we can see a lot of times the disciples was telling Christ not to go certain places, but the scriptures tell you he knew it wasn't his time. It wasn't his time. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it ain't our time, man. We gotta stop. We gotta be bold and quit being afraid and stand up and say what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because now you'll be able to say this woman could be living. You know what I'm saying? She could be living.
Man, you can literally see the pain and the discomfort in her face, man. You know what I'm saying? You can see the pain in her eyes, man. She like, you could tell I'm just doing what I gotta do to survive, making what I got, you know, dealing with what I got to make it to where, a lot of times we kind of hard on these sisters about, the decisions that they made, but a lot of times they just being a survivor in a situation that they was brought up in, A lot of them looking for love, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have that father around, so they, look at her face, bro. You can see the pain in her eyes.
Yeah.
Put some more cheese on.
Unfortunately, she lost her life, man.
It's sad because, like you say, she looking for love, and sometimes a lot of our sisters find it in the wrong places. But in our community, we don't help each other. We are down each other. Oh, what's the word? Oh, she a rat, or she this or that. Like, bro, that's wrong. Like, instead of calling her that, help her out so she can become the person that she need to be. I got a scripture right quick. Go ahead and slide into some of these scripts while we talking. Where is that? Let's see. Psalms 94:16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And that's what's going on in our community. Nobody, like the Akban was saying with the stop snitching thing and all that stuff, nobody stand up for righteousness. But you go across in these suburbs across the world, they're gonna stand up for their righteousness. They're gonna protect their communities against the evildoers. And nobody is gonna do nothing to it. Nobody about to come shoot their house up and nothing like that. But yet our people come at us and try and harm us just for trying to protect our babies and our neighbors and all this stuff. So who that's the message to those who watching or come across this video. Who shall stand up for righteousness and stand against the evildoers? And then I got one more precept too. Deuteronomy 32:25. The sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hair. And the title, once again, of this is called The Terror Within. And that's what's going on. The terror within is our people. We can't blame no other nation of people but ours. We choose to pick up them drugs. We choose to pick up them guns. We choose to rob and steal and kill each other. You can't blame no other nation. So to any of you brothers and sisters out there talking about the white man this, the white man that, no. Talk about the black man and the black sister, what we doing to each other each and every day with this stop snitching crap and all that. I'm going to say it straight up, all that sucker jump. That's what it is. Because at the end of the day, you can't say you love me, but when I'm trying to protect my family, you try and come and harm me because I don't go according to how you think I should go according to. Like, our people need to get off that bull crap, because we got to stand up for each other as a nation of people if we want to make it to see the next level in this life. We got to do it. No other nation, no president, no governor, no mayor, no police officer. We do. We can govern ourselves if we get on one accord according to the Most High. One of y'all want to take it?
Yeah, when I had read that earlier, I had read Isaiah 3:5 when I was talking about, the people gonna be oppressed by one another and his neighbor. It's telling you in the beginning of that chapter that all the leadership, all the people that will be protecting these communities in our nation, the Most High was gonna take them away from us. Tell you in verse 1, it say, "For behold, the Lord of hosts, will take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water." We don't even be knowing where our food gonna come from. They can press a button and turn it off right now. The mighty man and the man of war. We don't have a military. The judge you know, that's what we lacking right now. The judgment, we was just talking about that. And the prophet, you know, to tell us, you know, prophecy concerning the Most High, and the prudent, you know what I'm saying? And the ancient. You get what I'm saying? These things, these are what you need to establish a nation. All these other nations got that. That's why they you know, no matter what they do, they come together. But we don't have that. We don't even know our roles individually. So, you know, how we gonna come together as a nation?
Yeah.
And that's real talk. We don't know our roles individually.
Yeah, so
you know, yeah, man, you know, man, we don't delight in judgment. You know, man, that's straight wicked. And we look at that as being some sort of way, like, that's tough. Yeah, yeah. Don't say nothing. Don't snitch. We you know, but it's really a fear. It's really a fear. It's really you being afraid to say something and speak up. And that's really what it is. You afraid, you scared. So stop trying to act like you tough, talking about stop snitching and all that. You ain't tough. That ain't tough. That's fear. Ain't no love in that. Ain't no love in that. Perfect love casts out fear. Love is judgment. You know? Our people, man, we get caught up. We get caught up into a thing, and then we try to pass it over as if it's some good thing. It ain't good. You trust in oppression. That's what it is. You trust in oppression. You want to stay oppressed. So you, before you get out here and say, you know what, I'd rather get out here and we help each other and do for ourselves together, you will say, you know what, I'd rather just sit back and continue to operate like I'm operating and stay oppressed.
Think about that stop snitching rule that you said though. Imagine, so we not in our own land, so we can't operate physical judgment like we want to. You know, say if you got a drug dealer amongst you or a pedophile, anybody, you go put your hands on them, you can go to jail. So your only option is to say what? Call the police. Hey, no, he's snitching, he's snitching. It don't make sense. So now you just left with these people to just operate in your environment. The killers, the drug dealers, the rapists. You know what I'm saying? It just manifests. Man, do you know, like I'm from Detroit. Well, I know for sure, like it's bodies in these abandoned homes. You know, if you want to go drop a body off, you go drop them off in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to get away with some murder, you go to Detroit and you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, I can't imagine how much, you know, stuff that went on in the city, man. Not only in Detroit, but a lot of these predominantly black cities, you know, it's like ghost towns, man. You know, they be finding these bodies in these basements and these abandoned homes because there's no judgment there. You know what I'm saying? Or people get raped and all this, you know, different things going on. We need a standard as a people, man. We need to come up to the round table and say, yo, you know, what do we do from here on? You know what I'm saying? Do we accept this? Do we accept that? But then we can't hold hands. It's to the point we can't hold hands with everybody no more because the majority of our people been inclined into sin. They agree with the LGBT. They agree with, you know, abortion. They agree with this, that. You know, this new generation, they don't even know what's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
That's why I stay on my. That's why I stay on my. I stay on my wife about things like that. Like we can't hold hands with everybody because you know sisters they naturally love and attached to a lot of things. So I be trying to you know just keep that embedded in there. Hey, look, you can't do that because a lot of people is already in tune with not even in tune, but they on one accord with the sin more than the righteousness. I got a scripture right quick, Deuteronomy 28 and 54. This why you find a lot of bodies in these vacant houses, in these basements, and all this stuff. It say verse 54. It say, so that the man and woman. It don't say and woman, but this vice versa, both ways. I'm just cutting it short, paraphrasing. It say, so that the man and woman that is tender amongst you and very delicate, his or her eyes shall be evil toward his brother or sister, and towards the wife or husband of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his or her children, which he or she shall leave. And that's what's going on right now. We as a nation have an evil eye towards each other, to the point to where we even have an evil eye towards our children. Like, we don't even want to be around no more, to the point to where we want to protect each other as a whole. Man, that's on her. She can do what she want to do. I don't even care. Man, that N-word ain't Jack. He can do whatever he want. Whoopie-whoop, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's sad. That's what we do. And like being said earlier, we the only nation of people that do this type of stuff. That's messed up. I got one more scripture. No, actually, I got two more. I'm gonna just knock these out right fast, and then y'all can go ahead and we can hit them with the end statements. Matthew 24 in Derabatam 12. Matthew 24 and 12. It say, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So that sin is overcoming everything. The love of many is wax cold. There's no love out here no more. Ain't no honor amongst thieves. We heard that growing up. It's cold out here in these streets. We hear that every day in the D. The love of many is wax cold. Hey, ain't that a theme song? Actually, it's cold out here in the D or something like that.
We is not gonna go there with that song, bro.
But you know what I'm saying, though, like, man, that song was terrible. That sister didn't know what she was doing on that mic. But anyway, it's crazy. The love of many is wax cold because iniquity is bound. The iniquity is at an all-time high right now. You can barely even trust people that you once loved, that you once called brothers or sisters or family members or friends. You can't even trust them no more. It's so wicked out here. Like, perfect example. My nephew, a person that he called his friend, was the one that murdered him. A person that he so-called called a friend, called a brother, murdered him. It's going on 2 years now. Like, bruh, hey, I'll just say this. I think the Most High where I'm at in life now. Because who knows, you know? I could have been one of them that let the iniquity abound as well on some revenge stuff, you know what I'm saying? Most High forbid. I think the Most High that didn't, you know, but that's just an example of how iniquity abound, that there's no love no more. I got one more if y'all don't mind. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and 1. It say, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetousness, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. That's what's going on right now. We in these last days where people is unthankful, disobedient to parents, unholy. They ain't separate from nothing. Everybody the same. Blasphemers. Everybody proud. I got this. I got that. I got this hell charger, hell cat, or whatever they call them things. Covetousness. I want that. I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? They say without natural affection, truce breakers. That's what's going on too. There's a lot of truce breakers out here. Like I just gave the example with my nephew. That was a truce break right there with him and his homeboy. He thought that his homeboy was cool. He broke a truce with him. False accusers, incontinent, fierce. We see that every day on World Star, YouTube. Everybody fierce. Despisers of those that are good. I'm gonna read that part again. Despisers of those that are good. Well, we was talking about the stop snitching thing. We trying to do good, and then people try to harm us. That's because we're trying to do good, protect our community and family. Let's say traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of a higher. Dispensaries everywhere, drug abuse, alcoholics, sleeping around, fornicating. You know what I'm saying? That's examples of lovers of pleasure more than lovers of the Most High. Then you go to verse 5, it say having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. That's what's happened with the younger generation. They done turned away. They done seen so much buffoonery out here with these quote unquote religions till they done turned away completely from the Most High. They don't even, man, people don't even believe in the Most High no more. And that's sad. But y'all can go ahead. I don't want to hog up all of it. Go ahead.
You doing your thing, man. Doing your thing. I just, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, man. I'm gonna just read something real quick because I think, you know, a lot of times it's good to read the prophecies. You know what I'm saying? Just so people can understand. Because I always like to show, it don't matter what lesson we teach and what we bringing out. I always like to show that this Bible is talking about our people. You know, because maybe it'll ring true to some of us and bring us to the Most High. You know what I mean? So let me just read something, man. You know, David, you know, was the king of Israel. All right. And he was from the tribe of Judah. Okay. So, you know, David, you know, he sinned. He killed a brother's wife. I mean, a brother. He killed a brother so that he can have his wife. And, you know, the Most High punished David for that. So let me show you the punishment that the Most High decreed upon David for that. This is 2 Kings 12:9. It says, wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Most High to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore, listen to the decree. Listen to the decree. David is from the house of Judah, remember that. Now therefore, this is the 10th verse. Now therefore, the sword shall never depart from thine house. The sword is destruction. It's death. It's murder. Okay? Judah is David's house. The Bible says, this is what the Most High is declaring. Negroes in America, you from the tribe of Judah. Check this out. It says, now therefore, the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus saith the Most High, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house. Out of thine own house. Okay, this is the terror from within. This is a curse on our people for how wicked our forefathers was living back in the day. The Most High said, the sword shall never depart from your house, David. It says, the 11th verse, thus saith the Most High, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house, and I will take thy wives before thine eyes and give them unto thy neighbor. And he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of this sun. Now we know that happened to our people when we went into captivity. For thou didst it secretly, but I will do this thing before all Israel and before the sun. All right. So this, you know, we live in a curse, man. And the only way, like we was talking about having a moral compass. All right. We live in this curse because we broke God's commandment. We broke that moral compass that was originally given to us. So we live in that curse. So the only way to get back right as a whole is to come back to God's commandments and live the way we were living originally. The way that we were meant to live originally, that the Most High set up in his ways, walk in his way. That's the only way. That's the moral compass that we should choose, because that's the moral compass that we broke, that got us in the case that we in right now. Right? That's all I got.
All right, I get my closing statement. So I was just that was a great point, by the way. And I was just thinking about, because I've been standing in Isaiah 3 for a reason, because it gives you the whole breakdown of why things are the way they are. And I remember the original question that he asked, and I said things are the way they are, due to leadership. You know what I'm saying? When he was reading that in that's First, Second Timothy or whatever, talking about the blasphemers, truth breakers, all this was going to be a after effect due to things that happened in the past. And I think it's due to leadership, because we were supposed to be reproving the other nations. You get what I'm saying? So Israel was supposed to be that leadership. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, the man was supposed to be the leadership of the woman. So now you have the household broken up, the nations broken up. And what? That original sin was from the leadership of what? You had Adam. But yeah, that's why I resorted back to Isaiah 3 to say that, when we talk about the prophets, the men of war, and the judges should be taken out the way. The Most High would take them out, and we would just be left to doing anything. So let me read this. We was talking about the breaking up of the family and all that, the genocide of that. So I'm gonna just say this, because you got we came with a lot of podcasts about polygamy and all these different things. A lot of people probably took that the wrong way, but a lot of the family being broken up is because of the leadership of the man. And this is one of the things when it say, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them." You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why it's a result after that happening. So when you take the man out, this is the after effect. Let's go down to verse 16, chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. What are they secret parts? That's something that the world not supposed to know or see. You get what I'm saying? I look at our women now, all you see is what's promoted in a public. You see people body parts. You see these BBLs. You see all this stuff going on as a result from the lack of leadership. So let's go down. And let's go to 24. It say, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So they don't have that protection from the men no more. You know what I'm saying? So now our women is left up for grabs. So that therefore leaves the children's up for grabs. You know why? Because the men didn't have that order. We can go to the scripture. I'm just say it. You got the Most High, you got Christ, and who's under Christ? The husband, then the wife, then the children. If you don't go by that order, you're gonna have genocide automatically. And that's my closing statement. This was a part two. It was a good wrap up for that topic. That's all I got.
All right, all praise to the Most High, man. Pray Most High willingness fall on some ears that's willing to hear, some eyes that's willing to see. Because we're living in a time where, like the scriptures that came out, love of many is wax cold. Because iniquity abound, has abound. We living in them times. Sorry about that. But at the end of the day, like I say, I just, you know, pray that this comes across somebody who really wanting to understand and learn and grow with this. And yeah, and I ask that y'all like, subscribe, and you know, check us out on all our platforms. We got the YouTube, of course, Freestyle Friday or Freestyle Sunday podcast. We got the Royal Scepter of Yeshaya YouTube. What else we got? We got the Facebook Freestyle Sunday podcast. We also have what else? Zarana Tall on Instagram. If you want, you know, you want some little garments, some little clothing. Hold up, for some reason it's kind of blurred, but you know, it's right there. Zarana Tall, ZARAHNATAL. You want some fashion? You got the garments there. You got Cortez Israel at Facebook. You got Akbanaya at Facebook. Shoot, that brother got about 6 Facebooks. He gonna have to tell you all 6 of them. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'll praise to the Most High for another week. It's week 9, episode 9. We're gonna keep on keeping on till the doors fall off this thing. Kwame Yasharala. If one of y'all got something to say, it's on y'all. Then I'm finished.
Nasha Alaquan. Nasha Alaquan. All right. So I guess that concludes another week.
Yeah. Feels like one of them songs, you know what I'm saying? Makes you want to talk to the Most High. You know, Father, I need you to protect my mind from all evil. Because, you know, a lot of times this is where we lose the battle. Inside our own head. So I need you to guide and protect my mind. Yeah. Inside I have evil thoughts towards my brothers and sisters. Hey. And at times I can't forget. And I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. But on the outside was acting like everything was cool, but inside I'm losing the battle. Hey, Father, protect my mind from evil, cause in the mind is where we always lose the battle. Father, keep your hedge of protection around me every day. Sometimes you can be around the wrong people and cause you to stumble, and be a negative influence and bring evil in your mind, Father, protect me from all evil, and don't let me go astray. No. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta separate yourself from these people that'll cause your mind to stray off into some evilness, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do. Father, protect my mind from evil. Protect my mind. 'Cause in the mind is where we we always lose the battle. In the mind is where we always lose the battle. Father, keep your hedge of protection. Keep your hedge of protection all around me. All around me. Every day. Every day. Hey, sometimes you can lose the battle by lusting over some women or over a man. Yeah. You better control your mind. Control your mind. Oh. Evil thoughts from coming in, yeah. Oh, 'cause we can lose the battle every day.
You know, it's a constant battle.
It's a constant battle.
With all the different thoughts that come through your mind, you know what I mean? So I need you to protect mine.
I know
I don't want to go astray. I don't want to lose focus. Righteousness. Separate these people from me that don't want to walk right. Yeah.
Father, protect my mind from evil. Protect my mind. 'Cause in the mind is where we always lose the battle.
Oh, tired of losing the battle.
We always losing the battle. Father, keep your hedge of protection. Keep your hedge of protection all around me. All around me. Every day.
Keep on guiding.
Yeah. Oh,
mind is a place where you gotta really protect.
Father, protect
keep those good thoughts
from evil.
Ask the Most High to bless you with them good thoughts. To keep evil out your mind.
With them good